Step one is we're going to take down the stovepipe and clean in here and outside.
And how do we do that?
We'll take this bolt out right here. Yes, you should use a wrench, but pliers will probably work. Take the screw the rest of the way out, put the nut on so you don't lose it.
Put the nut on so we don't lose it. Where do you put it?
Throw it in that white bucket down there. Yep.
So this goes into there.
Now
And those are for the door, the other two.
we're going to undo this piece of tape.
You undo the tape.
One piece, just this one. You have to have that seam where we can open it up.
Right there. There's that seam right there. Straight down where? Yeah.
Follow the stovepipe down.
Yeah.
That wire.
Okay, move your hand. That wire. Oh, that wire right there.
You got to unhook from right here.
Unhook it from where? Move your arm.
If it breaks, you have to have a new one.
Looks like there's two of them. There's one that goes here.
It's
One
one
goes there.
piece. One piece. It goes right around.
Oh, it goes through the vent.
Yep.
The wire is now off.
All right. Now we're going to take the stovepipe off the stove.
Wait, we're gonna what?
Take the stovepipe off the stove.
Okay.
Loose, slide it
part?
back till it's loose down there.
Slide back to loose on the bottom.
Down there, yeah. You can
Yeah,
see.
I see it.
See where it moved right there.
Yeah. Wait, where? Against the stove?
Right here.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's out.
And then turn this so it unlatches.
There's pressure
Work
on the
it off
bottom.
the stove like that.
Yep, off the stove.
Now,
This is where
Because
you
I've
take
worked-
this off.
because I've worked this loose,
So you're gonna
take
wiggle
this
that off.
down.
And that's where you square
Bring
shove
it-
the vacuum cleaner up
Yeah, well, yes.
and vacuum this part
Take
too.
this, no, we'll take this on the porch.
Out on the porch.
Makes less mess.
The middle section leaves the porch. There's no middle section, as you can see. So that's going out onto the porch. Yeah. You vacuum that on the porch.
Yes. Now
Okay.
we're going to take this,
We're gonna shove it up the hole.
I'm going to shove it up the hole and shove it in the back of the stove.
All right, let's see this. Ew, it's dirty.
Up the stovepipe first. And you kind of have to do everything by feel because you can't see it around there. Shove this in there
Shove this in the hole.
and let it just suck out everything it can.
Okay. I hold it. I saw stuff come out. How do you know when you're done?
Well, you kind of don't, but
So you gotta put an extension on?
steady this, and I'm going to tap on the pipe. It should loosen up anything that might be in there. This stove makes very dry soot. The screws right here, you're only going to get in that far.
There's
That's
screws
it.
right there.
Where that tape is, yep.
First knuckle in.
But let it run. You just keep moving it back and forth. And if you think you need to tap on it some more, you can clear over to the house.
So we're gonna swap from sucking to blowing on the vacuum cleaner.
Yep,
So the stocking has to come off.
yep. That's just a filter, homemade one.
So this is where the stocking was, right here, opposite side of the vacuum
So you
cleaner.
push this down
Yeah, pull it out.
and pull it out. Bring
Stick it in.
Bring it around.
Now you're gonna blow everything
it in.
out through that
Now
hole.
put this up through again.
But you're gonna blow this time.
So
Tug up through the
once we
stovepipe,
get it up in there,
under the bracket.
about as far as it wants to go. Now, just toggle that on and off, up, turn it off, 2 or 3 times. Okay. I'm going to take that piece of pipe outside and thump it with something just to get whatever's in there loose.
Windshield washer. Then you gotta pull it out over the top of the porch and let it fall out, right? Right?
Yeah.
Drop it over the front of the porch.
Put it out over, upside down.
Oh, look at all that. Wow.
Okay, but this is only twice a year.
So we brought that back in.
Yeah, but I'm going to use the vacuum cleaner to get any loose stuff out of it.
All right, do that. You put the bottom in first or the top?
The top. Just to start it though.
Just get up a little bit so it fits
So you
in the
kind of
hole.
have to keep it like,
So you gotta pay attention to where the hole is.
you got to keep that kind of a line.
So yeah,
down
yeah, I
there,
can see where it's gonna come up.
but you got to come up through with this thing.
Yeah, under the brace, back up into the pipe. Right, because if it's fully up, it should line up with the hole.
Then you got to bite that down. I didn't even have to. It slipped right on. Look.
Put your head down.
That's the exhaust for the stove
All
down
right,
there.
hold on.
So,
So that's on now, okay.
right. Then now you just push it.
Now, all right,
Nice and tight.
whack it in.
Make sure
What do
this
you
is
first?
flush.
You do this first or you do the wire last?
I do the wire now.
Okay. After the stovepipe's on, it's in the stove, he's hooking that wire back up and down around there we saw earlier. It goes through the vents. Such as like this.
Where the pipe and the stove come together.
There should be no gap.
You shouldn't be able to see the pipe
The pipe's
coming,
up flush.
coming out of the stove.
So the
It
pipe's
should
up
be
flush.
all the way in. You can tell because you tap it, it don't move.
With pliers, so you squeeze that together. Put the bolt through the two little holes that obviously have pressure on them. I guess you leave the pliers on there until you
Start the
can.
nut. The section that we just did
The stovepipe outside?
with the stovepipe inside and out is twice a year. Once in the fall before you start the fire and about halfway through the winter. The second part that we're going to do now, bailing out the hopper and doing the vacuum in the midsection, you should do monthly.
So we are starting now the one we're supposed to do monthly.
Monthly to clean the hopper and the auger.
So first step is scoop out any
Scoop
pellets
out
that are left in
all
here.
the pellets you can get without a lot of dust.
So
fines.
all those pellets have to come out.
Anything that, when you get down near the bottom, if it's got a lot of fines, don't take them. Just let the vacuum
Let the vacuum
cleaner.
cleaner take them. So our dining room table looks like a workshop, as you can see. But we changed the gasket. It's been 4 years, and the gasket was leaking at the top up in here. So it's time for new gaskets. We just put this in. We're letting it sit. We can't do a 24-hour one because we live in Maine, which is obviously a cold climate. So we're going to let this sit as long as possible, probably a few hours, and then put it back on the stove and hope for the best.
See how clean the pellets are on this side where the light is?
Yes, and on the right is
No
gooey.
dust.
And right
Down
there is
in there, see the dust? Way down low?
zooming in.
That's fines. And the auger
And
can't,
that's what plugs up the auger.
the auger can't push those fines up through.
Alright,
So we can take the rest of this out.
okay.
So we'll let the vacuum cleaner get the rest of it.
Recommend a shop vac.
With a bag in it. Without a filter bag, these stoves will kill a shop vac.
It'll kill the shop vac?
It will. The dust from this will kill a shop vac.
So make sure you get one with a filter.
Put a bag in it. Filter bag. Most of them come that.
Where can you find a filter bag?
Walmart.
What's the price of a filter bag at Walmart for a shop
A
vac?
pack of 3 or 4 is like $12, but they last you a year.
Okay.
So get this little Phillips.
Yeah, you gotta have a short handle Phillips for this.
And you're only going to take out the corner.
This is something a lot of people might miss that I did.
These 2 screws are made so that that cap comes off over them.
So you take out the top 2.
If you think that they have too much sawdust in them, just take your vacuum cleaner brush and just go
I can't see what you're doing.
cleaning the head of the screw, basically.
Alright. Clean the screw heads.
And it's only those 4. So, and the stove is not that dirty this time. 4 little screws. Put them in that dish.
Those screws they go here into this dish. With the other stuff. Again, those 2 are for the door because of the
Screwdriver
gasket.
aside. Now we're going to take this plate off. But
Now show me what screws you took out.
The 4 corners.
So let's look. Keep your headlight on just so I can see.
The 4
So
corners, right where my fingers and thumbs are.
Thumb, finger on both sides.
Right. Leave these 2 tight because this panel comes out over like this. Just that little seam is where the top part of the auger chamber sits.
Now use a vacuum.
Now we've vacuumed the rest there.
Use the crevice tool at
Take
some
what
point.
this will get. See it suck the dust out of here?
Can you use your left hand?
Down in here is real important. And that's where the auger turns like this. I'm going to put the crevice tool on.
Left hand.
Just work my way up, giving the vacuum cleaner a chance to pull any loose stuff out. Take off the crevice tool. Shove this.
Hang on.
Shove this in here.
That's where the pellets fall out,
Let
right?
it go. Right. Now you can reach up here and feel it and hear it.
With the suction down there.
Right. So you know that's clean now all the way through.
So the next step is what?
The monthly cleaning.
So this is what you do every month?
Yes.
Alright, do it.
So all that loose stuff.
And that's from cleaning out the burn pot
Right, and
every
throwing
day.
it over there. But all that loose stuff needs to come out so we can get those back panels.
Okay, what are you using again? The shop vac?
Yep.
Shop vac. Ready?
Yep. You know this is 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3.
Wait, how do you take the burn pot out? I couldn't get it out.
You heist it up toward you until it wants to stop, like that.
Yeah.
Then you tip it back toward you,
No, towards the front.
so that this piece
The lip goes up
comes
by.
out of here.
So back towards you.
And then to take the panels out, which is what we were going to do, you
So
find,
burn pot first.
yeah, find that
Lift
find
on a
that
handle.
and just lift it up.
Middle
Yeah,
on the middle one.
until it clicks, and then just wiggle it till it comes right out in your hand like that. Now to get it out of there, tip it like this. Bring it out like that. It's the middle, so I stand it up over here somewhere.
Okay.
And then I take the
It's the only one with a handle, right?
right. Then I take the right one out.
And I imagine it's got a shape to shape the stove.
Yes.
So you can tell which one it is.
No. But it will only go one way.
So
You have to
well,
tip-
I would set that to the edge of the stove.
When you
to the
get
right.
this loose, you tip the top to your left and bring the bottom out. Now, you know this is the right one because the stove takes in air to put out the chimney through here, and it has this divider in it.
And that's how you
And
know it's the right one. And
because
it's
that's the right one, I put it over here somewhere. And now the left one.
smart enough. That's what you
Heist it up till it unhooks here.
lift up again.
Pull it toward you. Tip the top toward the right. Feed it out the door.
Okay.
And set it aside. So, what we're after is all of this stuff.
All that goop that's stuck on there.
And this stuff.
So where's that middle handle on the middle one you were talking about? You can feel.
Right here. It's the only one that has that piece
So you
that
lift
sticks
up
out.
on it?
Yes.
What's that release?
These little catches. Here and there.
Okay.
So now we're just going to
Clean.
vacuum the whole thing clean. Up the top is like this.
So wipe it down with your hand first.
Well, I usually do. But you can run the vacuum cleaner. Just,
Ready?
yep.
See what does.
Cover the whole inside of the stove with the vacuum cleaner. Let it pick up everything it can. So you want to suck all that loose stuff out of there.
That's the igniter, isn't it?
Yes. So you put this on over the igniter, and just let it suck for a second.
Put it right on over.
Right.
And then use your left hand.
When you think you got that pretty well cleaned, there's a square hole in the top right corner where my fingers are.
To the right of the igniter.
That's where air comes in from outside. So work this up in there as much as you can and just let it do what it's doing. And you pretty much got that piece. Now,
so this is going from suck to blow.
a second with a couple of rags.
Why do I feel like I'm having sex with a pellet stove? Suck and blow. I can't get it with one hand. Oh, maybe I can.
Yeah, reverse that over the blow. Fine dust
Okay.
up the chimney. So toggle
Where do you have that located, your vacuum, your blower?
in the exhaust port. Right where that square hole is.
Okay.
Right there. So you block it up as best you can. And then just toggle the vacuum cleaner on and off 3 or 4 times. Yep. And then switch it back to suck. Turn the vacuum cleaner on and bring back anything
Now, hold on. Now we are vacuuming again, right?
Right. Yep. Turn the vacuum
Same
cleaner.
area.
Turn the vacuum cleaner on. Let it get the loose stuff in where my fingers are going. This is your exhaust port. Clean your panels. You know this is your right one because it doesn't have this wide top part.
Okay.
When the stove is running, it draws exhaust.
What if you thought that was your left one?
You can't put them in that way. It won't go.
Because of this
Because of
angle
these
right here.
pieces, right, but it also has a different top. The thin top is the right one. Because of this piece, when the exhaust comes over the top of this piece directs it to that panel. So this is your right one.
So it's like making a weave.
This
in
is your
football.
left one. This is where we vacuumed the exhaust port, which is going to be down here when we get it back together. But this channels it so that the flow stays in and keeps this panel warmer. It's got to go in bottom end first.
Sideways.
Through the door. Then stand it up. Now,
Gotta hook the hooks.
this hook, that hook go here
Yep.
and here. But on the other side, there's 2 that you can't see. You know you got them if you can't pull the panel toward you. It has to go in bottom end first.
And sideways.
And it just fits. And stand it up. This hole,
Yep.
that hole, this hook, and this hook. Drops in. If you can't pull it away with your fingers, it's okay. Middle one. You can put it in either way, sideways. I usually do it this way. Stand it up right where it goes in the middle. You can see here and here. Find that little lip and hold it on it just a little bit.
You mean up on it?
Yeah, and pull up on it, yeah. And now when you push down, it'll make almost a seal around your pot where the pellets come out.
So now I imagine you can put the bird pot in.
So now we can stop again.
I don't want to. Keep going.
Okay, so weekly, when you do a weekly ashes, I mean a daily, that was weekly. We did monthly in where the pellets go. The panels are weekly. This is daily, what we're going to do now. Let the stove cool so you can handle it.
How do you put the bird pot back in correctly?
Pick the burn pot up like this till it hits. Tip it towards the front of the
So
stove.
it was already out.
Pull it out like this.
So how do you put it back in?
I'll show you when I'll show you when I clean it.
Clean the igniter.
I'll show you when I clean it.
It's time to clean the burn pot.
We're going to take the ashes out of this.
That was just a flashlight. No worries.
So then we're going to scrape anything that might be loose, especially around the holes, because that's where the airflow comes from. And we're going to tap it. We want to make sure we can see light through these holes. Then this piece, scrape there, scrape here, and do the holes. Scrape here. Run this in. Tap it a few times.
And if you don't have that specific tool, you can do the same thing with a screwdriver.
It comes with the stove. These teeth.
Well, it comes with this pellpro pp130.
Right. These teeth go in those two holes.
Okay.
Those two teeth go in these two holes. This piece goes on the inside. You can try to be stupid like I was and do it wrong. It won't work. You got to put it like this. Get it like that. Now your burn pot's clean.
And completely back together.
And completely back together. But you put it in reverse.
This tip it forward towards
lip,
you.
Right. Tip it toward you. Slide that lip until it goes in under. And then straighten it up. And set it straight down.
And it'll fall right back again.
It'll fall right back into place. And then take a straw and blow out, especially that big round hole where the igniter is. And I do this one. And then I take this when it's full of pellets and I run it up here and I just wiggle it around because that makes sure that there's no plugged pellets in the top of the chamber. And other than putting the door back on and hoping we did that right and cleaning up these
and
loose
normally
ashes,
the door wouldn't be off, but we had to change
right,
the...
right, because we had to clean the gasket, change the gasket. Other than getting it back on, filling it up with pellets, and cleaning up this looseness, we're done. It's clean.
It's basically new.
Right, it's cleaned all the way through. Stovepipe, hopper, burn chamber, burn pot.